Erin Bruner had always been a woman of ambition and an unwavering dedication to her career. She was well on her way to becoming a senior partner in her prestigious law firm when she took on the case that would challenge everything she thought she knew about the world. It all started when she agreed to represent Father Richard Moore, a Catholic diocesan priest who had been charged with negligent homicide following an attempted exorcism of a 19-year-old student named Emily Rose. The case had sent shockwaves through the community, and the Archdiocese was eager to contain the situation. They wanted Father Moore to plead guilty, hoping it would minimize the crime's public attention. However, Father Moore had other plans. He firmly pleaded not guilty, believing that the truth behind Emily's tragic ordeal needed to be revealed, no matter the consequences. As the trial began, the courtroom buzzed with anticipation. The statements of the witnesses were brought to life through haunting and vivid flashbacks, painting a chilling picture of the events that had transpired. Prosecutor Ethan Thomas, a man known for his ruthless and relentless pursuit of justice, took charge of the case. Thomas's strategy was clear. He aimed to establish a medical cause for Emily's death, specifically citing epilepsy and schizophrenia as potential culprits. Emily's story was a tragic one. She had dropped out of her college studies after being consistently struck by delusions and muscle spasms at the witching hour of 3 a.m. Frightened and desperate, she had returned to her parents' home, where she was put on a regimen of epilepsy and psychosis medications. Father Moore had been consulted when Emily's condition showed no signs of improvement. His assessment and observations had led him to a conclusion that sent shivers down the spines of those who heard it. Emily was being possessed by a demon. With the consent of Emily's anguished parents, Father Moore had embarked on an exorcism, a harrowing ordeal that ultimately failed. He surmised that the medications Emily was taking had paralyzed her brain activity, effectively keeping the demon out of reach. Erin Bruner, known for her fierce dedication to her cases, stood by Father Moore's side. As the trial unfolded, something inexplicable began happening to her. She started experiencing supernatural phenomena in her own life. She would wake up at 3 a.m., the same haunting hour that had tormented Emily, and smell the acrid stench of burning material in her home. It was as if the malevolent forces that had once plagued Emily were now invading her own life. Father Moore, recognizing the signs, approached Erin and warned her that she might be a target for the demons. He revealed that he too had experienced similar phenomena on the night he had been preparing for the ill-fated exorcism. The line between the real and the supernatural was blurring, and Erin was being drawn deeper into a world she had never imagined. Determined to support Father Moore and to present a case that went beyond the boundaries of conventional understanding, Erin summoned anthropologist Sadira Adani to testify. Adani's expertise lay in the beliefs surrounding spiritual possession from various cultures. Her testimony shed light on the idea that what was happening to Emily might be more than just a medical condition. However, Prosecutor Thomas was relentless in his pursuit to maintain a purely medical interpretation of the case and dismissed Adani's claims as nonsense. As the trial seemed to reach a dead end, a breakthrough came in the form of Dr. Graham Cartwright, a medical doctor who had been present during Emily's exorcism. He had kept a cassette tape containing the recording of the exorcism, and he handed it to Erin. Father Moore presented this recording as evidence to authenticate the exorcism and to refute the prosecution's medical case. However, just as Dr. Cartwright was about to testify, tragedy struck. He was suddenly and inexplicably struck and killed by a car. Erin was left distraught and shaken, wondering if there were forces at play beyond her understanding, determined to keep the truth hidden. Back at her office, Erin faced yet another challenge. Her boss, aware of the strange and disturbing turn the trial had taken, threatened her with termination if she allowed Father Moore to testify again. Erin felt torn between her career and her growing belief in the supernatural. Erin took a courageous step and paid a visit to Father Moore in his jail cell. There, he convinced her to allow him to tell the rest of Emily's story, despite her boss's threats and the risks it posed to her career. She knew that some truths were worth more than her own personal success. The next day, Father Moore took the witness stand once more, determined to reveal the full extent of Emily's harrowing ordeal. He read a poignant letter that Emily had written before her untimely death, a letter that would send chills down the spines of all who heard it. In the letter, Emily described a visitation that had occurred on the morning after the exorcism. She had been visited by the Virgin Mary in a field near her house, a vision that had given her the choice to ascend to heaven. She could have found peace and salvation in the embrace of the divine. However, Emily had chosen a path that was almost incomprehensible to those present in the courtroom. She had chosen to endure her suffering, to bear the weight of the demonic presence within her. In a twist that challenged the boundaries of belief, Emily had received stigmata on her hands, wounds that were attributed to divine grace by some and dismissed as self-inflicted injuries by others. The jury sat in stunned silence, grappling with the implications of Emily's choice. Prosecutor Thomas, ever the skeptic, did not interpret the stigmata as a divine sign. Instead, he argued that they were merely traces of self-inflicted injuries, further pushing the idea that Emily's torment was a product of her own mind. As the trial drew to a close, the jury was faced with an agonizing decision. Ultimately, they reached a verdict of guilty, shocking the courtroom. However, in a surprising turn of events, they asked Judge Brewster to give a sentence of time served. Judge Brewster, initially taken aback by the unprecedented request, ultimately agreed. Father Moore was set free, and the courtroom was left in a state of bewilderment. The truth had been revealed, but it was a truth that defied conventional understanding. Erin Bruner offered the partnership in her prestigious law firm that she had worked so tirelessly for, made a poignant decision. She chose to decline the offer, realizing that her path had taken a different turn. She had been irrevocably changed by the case of Emily Rose, and she needed to explore the mysteries that had been unveiled. Father Moore and Erin paid a visit to Emily's grave, a place where they could find solace and closure. Father Moore remained steadfast in his belief that the time would come when Emily would be declared a saint, a symbol of unwavering faith and the endurance of the human spirit in the face of the inexplicable. The epilogue revealed that Father Moore had never appealed his conviction. His mission had been to tell Emily's story, to reveal the truth, and in that mission, he had succeeded. The world was left to grapple with the events that had transpired and to question the boundaries of belief and understanding. Erin Bruner continued her legal career, but her focus had shifted. She was determined to seek a deeper understanding of the world and the forces that existed beyond the realm of human comprehension. Emily Rose's story remained a chilling and enigmatic chapter in their lives, a testament to the unexplainable and the power of faith in the face of the unknown.